You're lying in bed. It's 2 a.m. The room is completely dark, and something in your chest tells you to turn the light on. Not because you heard something, not because anything is wrong, but because your brain is screaming that something is watching you. You're not crazy. You're not being dramatic. You're running software that's 2 million years old, and it was written in blood. For 99% of human history, darkness meant death. Not metaphorically, literally. When the sun went down, the predators came out. Cave hyenas hunted in packs of 30. They could see in near total darkness. Leopards climbed trees, the one place early humans thought was safe. Cave lions weighed 700 pounds and hunted in coordinated groups, and every single one of them hunted best at night. Your ancestors had no flashlight, no walls, no door with a lock. They had their ears, their eyes, which were nearly useless, and each other. In 2005, a team at the University of Toronto studied what happens to the human brain in complete darkness. They put subjects in a pitch-black room. No light, no sound, nothing. Within minutes, every single subject started hallucinating. Their brains started inventing threats that weren't there. Not because they were broken, because that's exactly what the brain is designed to do. Your amygdala, the threat detection center, doesn't wait for evidence. It assumes the worst and reacts first. Rustle in the bushes? Probably a lion. Shadow moved? Probably a hyena. Better to run from nothing than to ignore a real threat. Scientists call this the smoke detector principle. Your brain is a smoke detector that can never be turned off. It goes off for real fires, it goes off for burnt toast, it goes off for nothing at all, and in the dark it goes off constantly. This is why children are terrified of the dark. It's not learned, it's not cultural, it's biological. Studies show that fear of darkness appears in children around age 2 across every culture ever studied, because 2 years old is exactly when early human children started walking independently. A child who feared the dark stayed close to the group. A child who didn't got taken. That fear was natural selection in real time. But here's where it gets interesting. In 2013, researchers at the University of Virginia measured how people perceive distance in the dark. Hay showed subjects an object in a dark room and asked how far away it was. Every single subject said it was closer than it actually was. In darkness, your brain literally shrinks the world around you. Everything feels closer. Everything feels bigger. Everything feels like a threat. And your brain does this on purpose. Because if a predator was 20 feet away and you thought it was 30, you were dead. But if it was 20 feet away and you thought it was 10, you ran early and survived. Overestimate danger, you waste energy. Underestimate it, you die. Evolution picked paranoia every single time. This is also why you hear things in the dark that aren't there. Your auditory cortex becomes hypersensitive when visual input drops. The house creaks and your brain says footsteps. The wind moves a curtain and your brain says someone's there. In 2006, a study in the journal Cognition showed that people are significantly better at detecting faces in darkness than any other shape. Your brain is specifically wired to find faces in the dark, because the most dangerous thing in the dark always had a face. This is why you see faces in shadows, in curtains, in piles of clothes on a chair. It's called pareidolia, and it's not a glitch, it's a feature. The ancestors who saw a face where there was none lost nothing. The ancestors who missed a real face in the dark lost everything. Now fast forward to today. You live in a house with walls, locks, and alarms. There is nothing in your bedroom that can hurt you. But your amygdala doesn't know that. It's still running the same code it ran on the savannah. Scan for eyes, listen for movement, assume the worst. Don't sleep until you're sure. This is why insomnia spikes when you sleep in a new place. Researchers call it the first night effect. One hemisphere of your brain literally stays half awake to monitor for threats. Dolphins do this, birds do this, and apparently so do you. Your brain treats every new sleeping environment as potentially hostile, because for 2 million years it was. Here's what makes all of this even stranger. We didn't just fear the dark, we feared what we couldn't see. In 2019, a study at the University of Sussex found that people rate identical sounds as more threatening when heard in darkness. The exact same noise, a branch snapping, a door creaking, was perceived as far more dangerous when the lights were off. Darkness doesn't just remove information, it changes how your brain processes everything. Pain feels worse in the dark, time moves slower, loneliness is more intense. Hospitals have known this for decades. More patients press the call button between 2 and 4 a.m. than any other time. Not because they're sicker, because they're more afraid. And this is the part no one talks about. The invention of artificial light didn't fix us. It just gave us a new way to avoid the problem. We went from campfires to candles to gas lamps to electricity, and now we carry a light in our pocket that never turns off. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day, and usage peaks at night, right before bed, when the ancient fear is loudest. We're not scrolling because we're bored. We're scrolling because the light feels safe. The stimulation drowns out the ancient alarm. Your phone at 2 a.m. is the modern campfire. Same function, same reason. Keep the dark out, keep the fear quiet. But here's the cost. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. So the tool you use to fight the fear of darkness actually makes it harder to sleep in the dark. A perfect loop. Fear creates the behavior that feeds the fear, and it gets worse. Studies show that chronic sleep deprivation makes the amygdala more reactive. Less sleep means more fear. More fear means less sleep. Your 2 million-year-old software is now incompatible with the world you built. So what do you actually do about it? First, understand that the fear is not weakness. It's the most successful survival program ever written. Every human alive today carries it because every ancestor who didn't died in the dark. Second, your amygdala responds to ritual. A consistent bedtime, a dark room, the same sequence every night. These aren't just habits, they're signals to your ancient brain that the perimeter has been checked, the tribe is here, it's safe to sleep. Third, and this might sound counterintuitive, spend time in the dark. Controlled exposure teaches your amygdala that darkness without threat is possible. It can't unlearn 2 million years, but it can learn that this specific dark room is safe. For 2 million years, the dark was the most dangerous place on Earth. Every sound was a threat. Every shadow had teeth. And the only thing between you and death was a circle of fire and the people beside you. That world is gone. The predators are extinct. The savannah is a suburb, but the software is still running. Every time you check under the bed, every time you need the hallway light on, every time you can't sleep without a podcast or a screen, that's not you being irrational. That's 2 million years of survival telling you, we made it this far. Don't let your guard down now. And honestly, after everything your ancestors went through to get you here, maybe listen to it once in a while.